Hey everybody, it's Joseph. In this video, I'm going to be using Claude Code to build a high converting, professional looking, personal website for myself. You know, it's something I always wanted to do, and I thought it'd be a good way to teach how to use Claude Code. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we're just gonna talk. So you have your Claude Code here, and you're just gonna talk to it, like using natural language. It's cool. So you can say, here, I'll just maximize this. Oh, oh, hold on. Okay, I need you to build me a personal website. Nothing crazy, just a one pager for now. You know me, I'm Joseph Sestito. Um, that's spelled Sestito, by the way. There's a folder on my desktop called JS3 logos. Please use the black one. Again, it's just a simple one-page website. I'm also going to be providing a picture of myself. Actually, I'm going to give you my LinkedIn profile, and you can grab the profile picture from that. It should include a little bit about me. It should be high converting, and we're going to add some pretty animations in there. You know my theme, high tech, um, white, black, and cyan as the colors. Again, see the logos. Yeah, that's it. But I will give it my LinkedIn profile just so it has that. That's my handsome thing. Always go into plan mode when you do these kinds of things. Also, I will just put this in a new terminal. That was for something else. Oh, okay, cut. And resume. Okay, so why am I putting Claude into plan mode? Basically, just to explain that, plan mode, instead of Claude Code just going straight at it, you plan mode basically lets Claude like look through all your files if that's an existing project or reference any images. Like I said, if you see on my desktop here, the JS3 logos which I referenced. Also, as a side note, just to prove all these prompts here, you know, unless it says something like delete all your files. But yeah, just maps out a strategy so you can approve it or correct errors if necessary. Take a little bit, so it's actually working through. Yeah, so we might just cut this part out here. Two blockers. Okay, so we shall see what that means. It's a good question. I like the white letters. Okay, so so Claude Code has been mapping out a plan, and it said here I've got two blockers, and it's asking me a question. So which one's the black one? It didn't really understand that, so I want this one, white JS on black backgrounds. LinkedIn block the auto fetch. How should we handle that? Okay, perfect. So in that case, we'll just do this. Save image as. Perfect. And we're gonna go to downloads. Gonna put this in there. And we'll call this Joe portrait. And then for other here, I put my head shot in the JS3 logos folder. And then we'll primary. So for now, actually, we're going to do something cool. I think you all appreciate this. So it's asking like what the okay, so it actually asked a pretty cool question there. It said, "Hey, what do you want the primary call to action to be?" A call to action is like the main button above, like when you first load on a website. It's usually like call now or book an appointment. So it gave me a few options. What I'm gonna have it do, I think this is some advanced stuff, but I want to show it. I have my own CRM platform that I built because, again, I was just tired of crappy software that they charge you way too much. So I'm going to give it the API docs to that so it could analyze it, and it's actually going to create a form directly. So I'm gonna actually show how to do that. Cut. Okay, so I have my API docs here to Hypo CRM. I'm just gonna give it those. You are to make a button to contact us. You are to do it in my personal tenant in Hypo CRM. See the API docs for context on how to make a form. Then we'll put that in there. All right, Claude Code is doing its magic. Also, I'll just make that a bit more visible for you. So same thing, we're just gonna wait and for it to come up with us. Read the Joe portrait, that picture of me I put in there. All right, we're back. So it wrote me a nice website. So Joseph, me, yep, introduced me as co-founder. Okay, there's a little bug. The name of the company is Hypo AI. We don't use Hypo ads. Oh, nice. Also, I love that Claude was smart enough to actually hide like the full API key. That's cool. Okay, I like it. Also, add a top bar like it is a multi-page website in case I want to add pages later. Also, I do want a blog on the website. Use Hypo CRM's blogging feature and embeds with a separate page for blog posts. Does this make sense? So now I've just suggested some edits to it. Resume. Okay, I'm back. So, yep. That makes sense. I think that's how I do the other blogs. Just as a side note, what's great about this, if you make like a mistake in your choices, you know, traditional software development, you would spend like months correcting something like that, or at the very least weeks or days. But now with Claude Code, if that's not the approach I want, revising and making iterations is much easier. So like a lot of the, you know, architecture decisions that you would lose a lot of sleep over, they can be corrected, you know, much more easily if you made the wrong call. Anyway, I'm gonna submit that. And so let's just take a look. Yep, cool. Actually, I do want pretty animations later down the line. Is Astro. Actually, wait, yeah, that does. Because that site also has pretty animations, so I'm not too worried about it. And this is also why you always check what it gives you. Okay, so we're back in here. They gave me a few more iterations. Yep. I like it. Perfect. Everything's looking nice. I like it. All right. So, also, last thing, I want pretty animation. Does this make sense? Like cyan high tech stuff. Feel. All right, I like it. So now here's the hard part, everybody. By the way, make sure you have this on auto mode also. So here's the hard part. You have to, like, this is the most intense part of the process. So the most intense part of the process here is you have to just like get a cup of coffee and wait for it to do its magic, and you can evaluate it. Yeah, it's you know, literally that easy. Now, do want to note this is a simple website build, and like if you're just starting out in business, that's what I recommend. Just start with some websites. You know, they're easy to like. Everybody needs one. It's actually the first thing I sold. But yeah, just let it. It's a simple website build. If you were building something like a SaaS or a CRM or, you know, some advanced integrations, you would need a little more skill and practice. All right, resume. So hold on. Pause. And it was okay. Also, if you caught that, I actually just tell. I have an AI video editor. I tell it when I want to cut. But yeah, we'll get back into it. All right, so this is what it built out. On a first glance, I do like it. We are gonna need to make some tweaks here, but like that's got to be fixed. Yikes. So let's do this. That's cool. Okay, so I am gonna put some like actual results in here. Well, on a first draft, I actually like what it built. Now there are some obvious flaws and stuff we need to take care of. And one of the cool things about Claude Code is you could teach it to like look at screenshots. So I'm gonna show you this now. Like what I just do, if there's a site that I'm building and I want it taken care of, or like some error or something, I just like say, hey, I take a screenshot, say, hey, see latest screenshot, here's what you need to fix, and then it'll do it. So we're gonna take care of that. All right, so I'm just gonna get the screenshot in here. So there's my first screenshot, and I'll minimize that. Okay. See latest screenshots. I took a bunch. Actually, yeah. So that's one thing we have to fix. For one, I want my suffix, the third, in the top bar, not in the hero, though. I think that's cool. Just that, yeah, I do want it there. Also my logo, yeah. 2, remove the hypo advertising ink in the scroll bar. 3, remove Palm Bay, Florida. 4, replace Be Good House Scholar with inaugural Be Good Scholar. That's okay. And then, all right, another screenshot. Took another screenshot. The form is for 5. Replace contact at hypohq.ai with admin at hypohq.ai, or let's see where that goes up. 6, YouTube link doesn't work. I'm just gonna give it my channel here. 7, see latest screenshot. Remove the Astro bar. Also remove my work phone number. See latest screenshot. All pages should have a CTA above the fold. Took a bunch for you. Get to work. I'll throw in a smiley face, because why not? Excuse me. Resume? Okay, so what did I just do? I basically took a bunch of screenshots and they're going to land on my desktop. What Claude's going to do is it's actually going to like look through them, see what I'm referencing, and trust me, the screenshots help a lot when it's trying to debug things. Like giving it that visual input really helps it understand quicker. Trust me, I've learned that the hard way. So it's going to debug, make all the edits I suggest, and same thing, I just go grab a cup of coffee. You can actually see here, it is making all the changes. So we will do that. And same thing. Hey, one quick thing I noticed here. The icon's a bit off. Like on the top there, see latest screenshot. Also, what's cool here, you can actually tell it to do things while it's in the middle of stuff. I also want the image to in the top bar and the OG image. Like, oh wait, I could, like for when I send it to people, to show my logo, the JS3 logo with like the Wi-Fi bars. Use that please. Minus all the filler words. It's just, you could tell it to basically do things while it's doing things. Anyway, back to my coffee break. Pause. Okay, it made most of the changes. We just got up. Let's see if my Instagram. Okay, I'm gonna give it, okay, so just gotta tell it, I told you to create the form in HypoCRM using the API. Do that in my personal tenant, which is named after me. Please do that. Thank you. Nice. Is the form working? There we are. Okay, we've got to do something about this, but overall it's looking better. So, because they should look like this where they resize. So we're gonna have to screenshot. Can we make the form resize rather than have powered by Hypo AI to be much to have a gap between it and the bottom of the form. So I'm back. Yep. Nice. All right, we're back. So it fixed up that. Yeah, there's a few other little things I would tweak here, like, given all the social profiles. But overall, and yeah, I'm going to tweak these numbers. But overall, so like I said, overall, pretty impressed with it. And, it took me about like 30 or so minutes of work, give or take. But, half that was just me grabbing coffee or working on some other stuff in the background. The few things I want to tweak up, like the social media links, but I'm not going to bore you with that. I am going to be replacing the real number, like giving some real numbers in there rather than the crap it made up. But yeah, like if I were to build a site like this with like a WordPress developer, well, first of all, WordPress doesn't even work. Second of all, that would have probably been a $5,000 build out and like $500 a month in maintenance fees. So again, for those of you who stuck around, thank you so much for watching. And if you're looking to start a business, seriously, like an AI web development agency is a great business model. It's easy to learn. You could have Claude Code handle it. You just need to know a little bit about like, how to deploy the site, but that's easy. Just create a Vercel account or GitHub account. But yeah, for those of you who, again, thank you so much for watching. And as a shameless plug, if you're looking to actually either build a website or implement AI into your business, feel free to give me a follow. Check out some of these videos up here. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the